Oh, we're live. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reality Queens. Oh, I've got to turn this off. It is on TikTok. Perfect. Welcome to Reality Queens. I am Rachel Reilly Villegas. For those of you that are joining us across multiple platforms, I would say I'm the reality TV queen of competition shows since I've been on Big Brother twice, The Amazing Race 3 times, The Traitors, Snake in the Grass, Fear Factor. I won Fear Factor. Sorry, I don't mean to brag, but sometimes you need a little humble brag. What do you guys think?
I completely agree. I did The Apprentice, the competition show, and then I did
introduce yourself first.
And then I have Jenn Hoffman, and then I did a couple other random, like, small competition shows, and I was like, I'd rather just talk about reality TV, although that's not alive. I went back on Now. I'm meaner. I'm a mom. I didn't care then. Now I could be a reality queen, but back then I got on TV and I was like, wait a minute. And then basically hid under the boardroom table.
Wait, are you a meaner mom like Brooklyn?
No, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like
a 40-year-old mom from Texas. That's what her tagline was. And who are you, Mr. Bobby? Tell us who you are.
I'm Bobby Goodsby, and I haven't been on reality TV, but I have been on Rob Has a Podcast Sequester, where I got 4th place and voted out Rob C. So, hey, listen, nice. I got pretty far on there.
That counts. Hey, I want to make a statement about that real quick before I do our intro. I was voted out like 1st or 2nd on Sequester when I did the Big Brother house guests versus Canadian house guests. Mm-hmm. And they were coming for me. So the fact that you were able to vote out Rob C and that you were 4th place, like, it's a hard game. Sequester. Yeah. And then I play these like online org games is what they call them. And like every time I'm always like, I get out. They just want to get me out for no reason. And I'm like, bro, I am not even a threat in any of these online competitions. I'm so bad at them. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say.
Yeah, there's still video footage out there on YouTube of the rehab sequester because that was during COVID and no one had anything else to do. And I was relatively like the underneath guy. No one really knew about me. I was relatively newer than everyone else, and somehow I wheeled my way to the final 4. So you just never know. You never know.
You never know. It's so true. Speaking of never knowing, this is our so far our hosting, what do we call this? Our promo. I'll just play
like intro. This is our very sophisticated intro.
Very sophisticated.
Sounds like a game show theme.
Right? It does sound like a game show. We should have some like game show questions. But speaking of game shows, Jenn, something cool that we are doing, which is not game show. I don't know why it's speaking of game show. Maybe did Jerry O'Connell used to host a game show? Maybe that's where my brain is going.
Probably. But I think so.
Yeah, right. I think he might have. So speaking of, Jenn Hoffman and I are really excited to announce. Drum roll, Bobby! Hit us with a drum roll.
I can't do that sound.
Perfect. We are going to be doing 60 to 90 second audition tape criticizing. So basically, Jenn and I have both worked in the reality TV on camera side and the behind the camera side. Jenn has also been a host, like all the things, got host jobs. So if you can give us a 60 to 90 second elevator pitch, you can send it to my Instagram. You can send it to Jenn or Bobby. You can send it to our email address, rachel@rachelsreality.com. We will have another email address for the show. We just don't have one today. But if you want to send it, DM it to us. We will use them live, and we will give you live feedback next Friday at 10:30 a.m. So I feel like that's really exciting because you're getting advice from someone that's been on the shows and that has worked in casting for over 8 years. Jenn, you worked at casting before in 10. What have you been?
I've cast shows before. I've cast pilots before. I've been cast as a host. I've done the ringer of all that stuff. I've been cast in a couple reality TV shows. So this is what we need from you. If you would like to submit a tape, and Rachel will elaborate more, but if you would like to be part of this, this is what we need from you. We want to know what your goal is. Is it that you want to be on a specific reality show? Do you want to be a host? Do you tell us the show or type of show you'd like to be on? And then you give us your elevator pitch, 30 seconds to tops 2 minutes. If it's over 2 minutes, we're not gonna watch it. And your elevator pitch should be key things about you, why you should be on that show. And Rachel is going to give you more details because she looks at these things. She is actively working in casting now and looks at these things all the time. So Rachel is now going to give you like her tips and what she wants to see and what should be on these. But basically it's your, I'd say 1 to 2 minute elevator pitch. But the first, please tell us what it is you want to achieve.
Yeah.
What show do you want to be on? What type of show?
We need to know what show you want to be on. We want to know what she means by elevator pitches, like, I want to be on Survivor and I am the best Survivor competitor ever because I had to survive in my backyard camping for 3 months when my roommate kicked me out. I want to know more about that story now. Already, I want to know, why did you get kicked out? Why did you survive in your backyard for 3 months? I just want to know more about that. This sounds like a story that I want to critique, something that's going to catch a casting director's attention, right? So these are things that we want to hear. Your elevator pitch could be something as simple as mine is, hey, I'm Rachel Reilly. I live in Las Vegas and I have a degree in chemistry, but I'm also a cocktail waitress. So you should cast me for Big Brother because I'm a super fan. I mean, like, listen, whatever it is, put it on a tape for us, send it to us, and we will view those live. We'll pick some clips, we'll do all the fun things, and we will help you as much as we can. This is free. You guys, this is like, we have people out there like Adam Klein, don't want to name any names, charging thousands of dollars.
Leave that name out.
Not to name names, but Adam Klein.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Probst is going to shut down our podcast. He's going to come to all of our houses and kill us.
But like, people are charging for this and we want to do it for you, for our viewers and our subscribers. We want to do this for you. So the only catch is you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Reality After Show, and send us the tapes and we will do it live for you. So, you know, and by the way, when I say subscribe, make sure you leave comments like, hey, Reality Queens is my favorite show. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then just to make it clear, you are sending us 1 minute to 2 minutes, and it's your elevator pitch. It's not like your audition tape. It's what the outline basically of what would go on your audition tape. So I want to be on this show as a competitor or a host of this show, or I'm a realtor, so I should have my own show about whatever. Mm-hmm. This is why. This is who I am. This is what I'm all about. Boom, boom, boom. And then we will pick some of the ones we like and people that meet the criteria and that don't send us a half-hour-long audition tape. And we will give you some live advice, tips, and maybe some leads about where you can even actually go to apply for something like that, and where to go from there.
Yeah. And for those of you that are new to our podcast, we are Reality Queens with Bobby. We love Bobby because you're a super fan of all the shows. So you can watch our podcast live at 10:30 a.m. Central Time on Fridays, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. We talk all things Big Brother, Survivor, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, The Bachelor, The Golden Bachelorette. Like, if it's a reality show on TV, we're going to talk about it. We're going to cover it. And this is a live show, y'all. So guess what? You get to get involved. If you don't like something we're saying, leave it in the comments. If you think that we are totally off our rockers, let us know. If you have a question, then let us know. And we want to get involved with audience interaction with you as well. So you, the viewers, get to control this whole podcast. We're live, unlike so many other podcasts that you watch. So you get to control what we talk about, the direction of the conversation, and we want to know your feedback. With that being said,
yeah. You can basically be like our little Ainsley, Julie Chenbot, whatever. So we usually talk about Big Brother. So we are going to get into that. The live feeds are down now and everyone's in a panic. And no one knows what to do about it. And the rumors going around the live feeds have been down for so long, unless they've come up in literally the past 60 seconds, is that there was a very physical competition last night. So basically we're going to kind of really quickly go through how we got to where we are right now. And then this is kind of what Rachel was talking about your opinions. We have some strong opinions, Rachel and I, about what people should have done in the show, who we like, who we don't. They seem to be totally opposite. I will give Rachel credit. Rachel's not only been on the show, she's won Big Brother. So I would take her game strategy probably more than mine. But I will say this house has such a lack of strategy and is so wacky and is so much more of like emotional and less strategic, except for one thing that I think is secretly happening, which we'll talk about later, that this house, you might throw all Big Brother rules out the window. I mean, somebody like Angela gets the veto 3 times and gets the record, and you think this is the normal season of Big Brother? No.
No. Well, let's start from the beginning. So we walk into a Chelsea HOH really not knowing what to expect. Now, Bobby, what did you think about this week with her HOH? I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but what were you expecting, and what did she do that you were not expecting?
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting it to go pretty much how it started, with Angela being on the block and possibly being the target. You know, I see a lot of people in the house thinking, okay, our goal was to get Angela out of the house pre-jury, but now that jury's here, now what, is she just going to stay all the way to the end and take someone else's spot when we get to the end, to the final 2? So I thought that she would kind of knock out that possibility of a, you know, final 2 GOAT to take to the end. And then I just kind of slowly saw a shift because of Angela's crazy paranoia getting to the house. And to me, I was just like, how in the world is this happening? How is Angela making the moves out of pure insanity that caused what we saw happen?
She wasn't right, but she wasn't wrong.
Right.
Because
but like she totally stumbled into it.
They weren't forming a secret plot, but Quinn does have that riding the line also with the trio, and Leah is attached to Quinn. So while nobody spoke of some secret plot that Angela overheard, that was a wild, like, exaggeration and paranoid hallucination of Angela's, those seem to work for her very well because she is still here, and whoever she wants to go home basically goes home. Her enemies go home.
Her enemies do go home a lot. And I think what we're seeing with Angela is that she is becoming this character who's not the, like, she's not the secret pawn. She is a target, and she does win things, and she is dangerous in this game. So she's not the secret pawn that people are like, let's throw up, you know, Adam because he's never going to win. It's like you put up Angela because she probably should go home, but then somehow, speaking of Wednesday, we saw the veto. Somehow, nobody knows any answers to anything.
And that is because Angela is both. Oh God. Oh my God.
This is my favorite picture. I love that little raccoon and this OTEV competition. They all thought they were right. Like, they all thought they were so right.
You know what is, I was like, what are they talking about? Especially with Chelsea. I was like, doesn't she remember not being it? And then I realized they just didn't listen carefully, that the first round counted
at all. So first of all, I would be distracted by this trash talking raccoon. Okay. First, he calls them dumbasses, which I didn't even know you could say on TV. Like, honestly, I was like a little shocked. This is a family show, CBS.
They do it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right?
I was watching it with my 7.5-year-old, and she was like, she looked at me like, they said a potty word. Like, she's still very innocent and was like,
yes, I agree. I just I really I felt like they wanted to get the traction online because that phrase had been picked up. I counted it at least 11 different news articles from 2Fab to Us Weekly, different news outlets that were big outlets that have picked up the dumbasses in the OTEV veto. So I'm like, well, I guess, first of all, I guess you can say that on TV now. And then second of all, I think that was a smart, phrase for Big Brother, I guess, to leak into their show because it got picked up in the news. And nowadays it feels like reality TV somewhat is all about getting picked up in the news. Do you guys notice that a little bit more then
Oh, definitely, for sure, because
Yeah.
now everyone has to have like their network of press in order to get attention. But I will say in this case, the producers lucked out because him calling them dumbasses and then them actually being dumbasses and Chelsea putting a bookend on the other side by going, "Oh, we are dumbasses."
yeah,
Was
it was so perfect.
you could not produce that if you wanted to. Like that was
Chef's kiss to
accidental
the
gold.
production company, to the story producers, to the OTEV set design. I did like this OTEV. I like that they got slimed right before, which is a very much Viacom thing, right? So like Nickelodeon is CBS. I love that they did slime them, even though it was pink goo and it wasn't called slime. It was slime. I felt like I was watching a 1990s slime, right? Like, do you guys remember that show? When they
Nickelodeon.
used to,
Can't do
Yeah,
that on
Nickelodeon.
television.
yes, they
Yes.
slimed everyone. So I
Yes.
felt like it was a throwback in my head that they were slimed. Even though he didn't call it slime, they could have called it slime. But I loved it. It was a great OTEV comp. That's my favorite comp of the season. I was disappointed it lasted so like it was so quick. And I was also disappointed that this week has become what it has. So I had some questions for you guys, just like in general. Do you think that the mid-season mediocrity is kind of happening where we're getting like the mid-season, like it's not as much excitement, all the big players have gone? Has the mid-season momentum kind of dropped?
I think that's 100% it. I think what it comes down to is all the big players, all the fan favorites are basically gone. And yeah, we still have Angela there, who's just, fun TV to watch. Outside of that, the rest of the house is kind of mild mannered, maybe a little boring at times.
Like
It makes it for not as fun.
But she doesn't say much besides So yeah.
So we have strategic game players, but they're just not sharing as much strategy as I would like to make it more of a strategic focused episode. So I do find the same thing. I think it is the mid-season momentum is going down. And I also posed another question, you guys. Has Angela's character energy fallen flat? And I know Jenn and you, Bobby, have different opinions. So you guys share. Dish.
Yeah, go ahead,
I love
Jenn.
Angela. I'm an Angela stan. I want to do the pot with her. I hope someday to bring the pot. And we can do the pot, but I would with Angela. The same way Angela would with them, I probably would with her. She never stops entertaining me. I can watch her eating a bag of chips, sitting at a table, walking around muttering to herself, and somehow I'm obsessed with Angela, and I hope Angela wins Big Brother. I totally shifted. I
think for me, go ahead.
I was like, actually, you should go because I have a secret thing. I think is a mid-season slump, but I think because there are two players with an open secret that are going to make a possible big move. So I'll save my prediction, but I think the slump is because people are intentionally waiting. But I'd love to hear Bobby's opinion about Angela. And I swear, if you say anything bad about my mom, Angela, I'm
that's your mom.
No, okay. So Angela is very entertaining TV. I will give her that. Like she's at least bringing something to the table, unlike a lot of people in there that are just kind of playing the game to win the game instead of being entertaining TV and trying to win the game. So I will give her that. However, a lot of it feels staged. A lot of it, like there's no way she is saying, "Oh, we'll do the pot." Like, come on. Like you're how old? You know what marijuana is. You can say it the correct way. Like, just doing this for clicks and for TV. And it's just, for me, it's just getting a little stale. And her paranoia is getting absolutely batshit crazy that it's really kind of ruining the game at a certain point. Like, it is and it isn't, because paranoia is part of the game, but it's so rampant and it's now in everyone's heads that it's kind of driving the narrative of the game, which I don't really love.
Shouldn't we be thanking her though? Shouldn't we be thanking Angela? Because Leah was literally sleeping. It was so boring. Leah slept all week. It was so, and no one was doing anything, and the veto was going to stay the same, and no chaos was going to ensue. And then Angela had a case of the crazies. And all of a sudden, we had a little bit of fun again.
But I feel, and I agree that we should be thanking her. But I'm wondering always, like what Bobby said, is that it just feels so staged, and it feels so like when we got the Tucker, like Tucker's just bored and he's causing chaos. We got that from Tucker, and it was amazing, and it was beautifully done. When we get this from Angela, it's starting to fall flat because it's the same story over and over again. And I love her crazy character. I love the meltdown with the crazy eyes. I love the fake tears, but like you can't do it every single week. You need a character arc, right? And like we're not getting the arc.
Yeah. The apology, the like, I did something that I'm so sorry. I never would have done that if I had only known. I'm so sorry.
It's my dream to be here. I just love you all so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was saying. That is getting old. I 100% agree that exact same loop. But you know what, though? At the same time, then my brain shifts to the other side and go, how the F is it still working? Because
it's working. It's still working.
It's still like driving the house.
It is driving the house, and it is like creating the narrative of the season. It is the Angela show at this point, because not in the fact that she's playing the best game or going to win, which if she does win, then it does put a cherry on top of this season. But it is driving the narrative to the point where it's like, whatever Angela comes up with is probably going to happen. And I'm like, is that something that is like intentional or accidental? Like, is she doing this? Does she come up with the scenarios in her head? Like, I want her to tell us that. If that's what's going on, like, I just want her to tell us. But if it's accidental, it's just like, well, okay. I'm not sure why. But another thing I was thinking about the Angela stuff. So this is the third. So she has been pulled off the block 3 times. This is the most any one person has ever been pulled off a block. They are creating history with
yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say, if anybody is upset with Angela being there, or is upset how Angela's erratic behavior or showboating or even fakeness or any of the things that Bobby is accurately saying is ruining the game, it's no one's fault but the other house guests, because they keep putting her up as like a maybe and also as a shield, but also using her as a wrecking ball. They could have sent her home anytime. They always would have had the votes. They always choose not to. And they keep choosing to save her. The most saved person in Big Brother history. The veto has been used on Angela more than anybody in history.
It's crazy. And I just want to also reiterate, guys, if you have a comment, leave it in the chat. So I want to read some comments so you guys know this. So Brantine Mercedes said, to me, this is like the most boring season. There's nothing interesting. It seems like Angela is going to win. And then Missy Leop has said, I agree. The feeds have been mostly boring. So have you felt that now that Tucker's gone? What do you think, Bobby? Feeds boring to you?
I think that the feeds have definitely gone down dramatically. And I think that the drama inside the house has gone down dramatically. I think we're getting to the end, but there are so many clusters of alliances that none of it's really getting figured out yet. And it's kind of making the gameplay mundane. And at the same time, I think the fact that a lot of the big characters like Tucker, like Quinn now, are all gone. It's Cedric, like just these people that at least bring something to the game, that have a gameplay and at least make it entertaining. Like Cedric might not have been the best character, but at least his feud with Tucker made for great TV, made for great drama inside the house, and the live feeds more entertaining. Now we just kind of have everyone being like, oh, I love you. You guys are so amazing. Oh, T-Core is the best thing that's ever happened to this world. And
so weird. She could be
it's weird, right?
It's so weird. Thank you. I'm so glad we have not addressed this yet. We slightly have touched on it. Everyone loves her. I get it, because I do love I love somebody who will sit there and let somebody else just tell them everything and that. But the fact that everyone loves her, worships her, fears her, respects her, she has all the things. I'm like, I don't get it, except for one thing that I think maybe why people are being quiet, and maybe why Chelsea put chemo up. And this is so like, it's not a secret that Tor has been saying, well, first Chelsea was saying, I'm not going to put Tor up on the block. I'm not going to be responsible. I don't want to be responsible for her going home, at least not now. Like, she wants to protect her. And Tor wasn't really reciprocating, but now Tor is reciprocating. And I'm like, what if they have never spoken it out loud, but by saying that have communicated to each other, you are my final two? Because if you're literally telling people, I'm not going to put that person on the block, I'm not going to do that, and you're not saying, oh, but they're not there, but they're on the other side, like pretending they're diametrically, they're opposite, they're on the other team. Have you formed an alliance with this person without ever needing to discuss it with them?
I don't know that they haven't discussed it. Because we haven't seen it, I feel like they have discussed it, or it's like a unknown discussion. Look, by the way, they have a team of 3 people in this house that are working together out loud. So Tor, Rubina, and Chemo are like the most dangerous people in this house, because now, and Cam is like one of the only people to pick it up and tell Chelsea, and Chelsea still didn't do anything about it on her own HOH.
Yep.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah. I was wondering if she didn't, because there's a conversation we missed or something going on where Chelsea and Tor have decided on kind of a final 2. So Chelsea's making some weird moves. Right? I think she was looking like extra exhausted, where there's really nothing that should have been exhausting. It was like easy peasy. Send Angela home. Fine. Then I'll just send Quinn. She didn't trust either of those people.
Yeah.
Like the stress on her looked like that she was really doing something that we didn't know she might have been doing. And this, I might be being Angela paranoid, wild theory here, but I'm thinking that there might be some end game, whether they've ever spoken it or not, where Chelsea and Tor are hoping to be the final 2. I mean, I think we kind of know that they both would like to be, but have some sort of strategy for it and are trying to have to maneuver within the world of that. And that Tor will turn on her trio and Chelsea will turn on Cam and all the other people, but not until there's like this moment that's right. Because
I would agree with everything until it comes down to Tor turning on Chemo. I don't see that happening. Yeah.
I can't.
And then I don't
want Chelsea to do it. Chelsea put her up. That's what I was thinking, that he went up so the blood would be on Chelsea's hands, and then things got all screwy. So I'm like,
that's the thing is like, I just don't think that Chemo is like enough of a threat to Chelsea either. So it just doesn't make sense for her to get rid of him. But by the same token, like, this is a dangerous trio to have. Rubina, Chemo, and Tor in the house is very dangerous. And since everyone loves Tor, her in the house is like going to be the most dangerous thing. Now I see in the chat, some people are saying they wanted Quinn, hoping Quinn would win it all. And then they said that the feeds have been down since last night. My live feed correspondence, can we confirm this?
Yeah. It's been about 25 hours, I think. Now it's probably about 26 hours. Last time I checked, I think it was 25.
Unusual. Like, look, we've gotten a lot of unusual Big Brother things. Okay. We have had an unusual Big Brother season, but that is very unusual for an HOH. Are they just trying to hide who won HOH for us? Or did someone get hurt? Like, that is unusual. So it is going to lead to a lot of conspiracy theories.
There was speculation that it went long and that they let them sleep in. But by now, I mean,
look,
is it now 9 a.m.?
It's
9 a.m.
there.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't I don't think that makes sense, because their whole show is built off of live feeds. Not only that, there's a full Pluto viewer. Like, they have the live feeds on Pluto, right? So like, that's weird. Now, my other theory is, look, Julie was not on the show last night. So I want to pose the question to you guys. Do you think Jerry did a great job as a host, a fill-in host? Are the conspiracy theories true? Like, what do you both think about that?
Well,
feeds are back. We just checked. Feeds are back.
Oh, they're back. All right.
So yeah, Flagator Mama said feeds are back. But yeah, so I mean, as Jerry being the host, obviously did a fantastic job. What my opinion is that he is the most unlike Julie person that they could have had.
Yes.
He also talked about being a big Brother fan in the infamous clips where he screws things up and he calls it HOH instead of HOH. And he's like, so funny. He's like, playing in there for the H of H. And then he says a few other things that are totally wrong, but he says he loves Big Brother when he's talking to Julie Chen. So I feel like it almost was like an inside joke with people that love Big
100%.
Brother to have him host it, because he's a super fan who totally like, maybe he was just nervous or forgot what to call things, messed up his big chance to talk about Big Brother. So I thought it was so genius. When I saw him there, I was like, yes, oh my God, H of H. He's here. And I love that they all complimented him the way that they compliment Julie. They were like looking dashing, and he didn't know how to handle it. He was like, thank you.
He was like so awkward. Mackenzie's, he was like, well, thank you very much. That is a great compliment.
And then by the end, you could tell a producer in his ear, at least this is what I think, because it was by like the third or fourth person told him to reply the way Julie would and gave him a line, because he said something like, thank you very much, but I need your vote. And he changed the way he was reacting. And I was like, oh my God, a producer in his ear must have been like, say this, because it was like a perfect Julie line.
So Mimi73 told someone to turn on to the feeds, because apparently we see who won HOH. We have to do a spoiler alert.
I'm turning them on now.
Okay.
As far as the Jerry O'Connell thing, we've seen Jerry O'Connell in the past. We know he's a massive super fan. We know that he loves this game and would love to play the celebrity version of the game, but it just never worked out with him. I will say this. Seeing him on there, watching him, it was kind of fun for me, but on the fly with only who knows how many days of preparation to be able to do so, I'm proud of him. I think he did a great job for on the fly hosting. You know, we know Julie Chen has COVID, couldn't be there. So I was happy to see that they at least brought in someone that knows the show, loves the show. We've seen in the past come on to talk about the show. And I feel like he did a good job in those circumstances. However, saying that, I think Julie just got about a 10-year contract extension after watching him host the show.
You know, she's never, ever, ever missed one episode.
Never. In
pregnant, she gave birth 2 weeks
seasons
after. She's never like, it's like, look, if you're that big of a star and you're married to Crazy Moonves and he screwed up really bad, like you should be able to take a day off. Like she should be able to be like, you know what? I'm going to have fill-in host whenever I want, but she is a diligent woman. And I would like to know what's going on in the feeds, because Bobby, your face looks like you found out some crazy information.
I can't tell at the moment, but if it's what I think it is, do we have a Leah HOH?
That would be amazing.
My God.
I think we do.
Just for Quinn.
Wow.
She's eating a bunch of candy and has a crown on, and everyone's around her, and they all slept outside, it looks like.
Okay, so that's why we did.
It looks like this looks like the set is still up, so it might have been a longevity kind of competition where like they had to stay outside. Do we have oh my God, what's the name of the HOH competition that they brought back last year where they all hold the button?
Yeah, the button one.
Why am I blanking on the name? That one. Is it that one? I don't know.
Well, they let us watch it last year on the feeds. So they did let us watch it, which would be disappointing if they took that away from us. So everyone is
that would be
really excited.
Really bad.
Elizabeth said Auntie Julie is the best. And then everyone is very excited with a Leah possibility of an HOH. But I do have, before we go into that and determining what's going to happen next week, I need to know, do we think eviction speeches on Big Brother are tired? Do they even make a difference at this point, or is it just a chance for someone to say, I love you guys, don't vote me out? Because like, I don't feel like that's what Big Brother eviction speeches were meant for.
These have been cringe this season. They've been extremely cringe, in my opinion, unbearably cringe. Except I have liked Quinn. Quinn was on calling Jerry O'Connell Kangaroo Jack and saying random stuff. I mean, it got a little too into it with his Big Brother fanhood and naming and referencing old things. I think even from your season. I don't know if that was another Britney season or yours. I mean, but Quinn's, it entertained me, but the rest of them, they're all like, I love you so much and you're all my best friends, and no matter what happens, I love you. And I also just want to, like, you know, represent myself the best here. And if you send me home, I'm still your best friend. At this point, I'd be like,
oh my God, I would be like, I hate you. Like, why are you guys even like listening? I don't know. Like, I feel like at this point in the game, it is like it's okay for you to tell them your true feelings. Like, Chelsea, I think that this was dumb that you are trying to get rid of me this week because, like, at the end of the day, Chemo, Rubina, and T-Court have a final 3. Like, you know,
Yep.
I think he could have said that, and he didn't.
Yeah.
I don't understand why nobody's calling anyone out. I don't understand why they're like waiting on Angela to kind of like narrate how the season goes. And then I don't know, maybe with the Leah HOH, with the Leah HOH, it would be Angela's HOH, right? So we'll see about that.
Maybe.
Crazy enough. I also think that as far as the speeches go, I think the reason why we get majority of them being boring is you get 95% of the time they are boring. I love you. Hey, shout out to my family speeches. But that 5%, that 5% is why they still have them a part of this show, because they bring the drama. They hope to flip, once in a blue moon, does it work? That someone says something in those speeches that carries over to the vote. And that's why they do it, just the chance that there is the possibility of that happening and bringing great TV.
And you're right, because whether they were telling the truth or not, remember how 2 weeks ago, I think it was like Chelsea voted for Joseph. Like there was a flip of who was going to vote for who, Chelsea and somebody else. Now I can't even remember. This is the longest season of my life. They said, it was something they said in the speech. It was either Mackenzie or Chelsea. One of them changed their mind about who they were going to vote for. But the fact that 2 people did, it made the outcome not any different. But people changed their mind, and they both cited the speech. They both were like, oh, they said something that made me think. So, like, you are right. Like, every once in a while, it does work.
It could work. And especially, like, for a double eviction, something like that, it could work. But now we have to have a double eviction coming up, or a triple, or a comeback, something exciting, because the only thing that Ainsley has told us this week is that she's going on a vacation to travel the world. I didn't know AI traveled. And that her bro is coming in. Now, do we think her bro is Zingbot or Tucker? Because I'm going to go with, it could be either one.
I didn't think, but I think it's Zingbot. I really do. I think that, like, it plays into the artificial technology. Like, they can make Zingbot AI at this point. And just everything about it. Yeah, everything about it just feels like it's a Zingbot week. It would be that timeline too that usually we get Zingbot. I know people love Zingbot.
Yeah,
that's getting old to me. I'm sorry. Zingbot was old a while ago, and I know it's a hot take. I know I might get some.
That is a hot take.
I'm kind of Zingbotted out.
That I've ever seen Rachel.
I know. I'm speechless.
I'm just like, it's just, I get it's a family show, and I get why they do it, but like, I'm like, come on, like, we've been doing this for how long? Like, are people really like, this is the best thing ever?
Yes, it is the best thing ever. 12 years of Zingbot. Do you know why I like Zingbot? It's like OTEV. It's a staple now. And then also it's fun because the house guests get grilled a little bit, and it's a silly grilling where it's like they're gonna say something about Angela's tears are as fake as her, whatever, like, something for Angela, and then she'll talk about it for a week. Like, it will literally be, just to see Angela's DR about the Zingbot zing is going to be fun for everyone, right?
I just feel like the zings haven't been as good over the last few years as they used to be. I guess that's where I'm coming from.
They need a new They need Kathy Griffin to come back.
Yeah.
Or after the trash raccoon last night, they might be bringing the heat with it, because not last night, but after the last the OTEV with the trash raccoon, the Zingbot might be coming in with some heat.
Yes.
All right. So we have a new head of household. We have Leah. What do you think is going to happen? I want to hear your predictions. I want you to know either what you think or what you think Leah should do, Rachel and Bobby. What either think or want her to do?
I want Leah to put up Mackenzie and Cam. But I think she should put up probably Chemo, and maybe, because I feel like she has a relationship with Rubina, but this is just she needs to break up that 3. If Leah and Angela are going to be a duo and make it to the end, they're not getting there with the 3 still there, because everyone's going to keep going after Angela, and now they'll go after Leah. So I think her eliminating Cam will also be nice, because then we're guaranteed a female winner this season, which I love. But I feel like at this point, like, if she got rid of Cam, like, nobody would be upset about it except Chelsea. So she would be drawing that line in the sand.
After Bobby says what he needs to say, if he doesn't say what I'm thinking, I'm going to lose my shit.
Oh my God, what do you think?
I think if Leah wants any chance to win this game, she has to take a shot at the 3. She has to. Like, it has to be T-Core, Timo, or Rubina. But yeah, and number 1, T-Core.
But isn't she like,
let's see if that happens. That's the thing, is, will it happen? I don't know. But Leah has to sit there and look at the game and be like, I want any shot to win. I have to either nominate 1 of the, or 2 of the 3, or Chelsea and T-Core. That would be a real hit to this game, change it on its head, and give her a chance to actually present why she should win this game. She's made the big move.
I don't see her going after T-Core, because I think that they have like a legitimate relationship. So I don't know, unless I like watch and I'm reading everything wrong. I think T-Core has put herself in this position, which is why they all love her and listen to her, where she has like a legitimate relationship with everyone.
Then that's why she's the most dangerous person. If I'm in that house, I don't care if T-Core just knit me a new sweater. She is the first person I am putting up, and I am putting her right up against Chemo. And I am sending one of them too, because that is the most devastating blow you can make to this game. Because Rubina has lately showed signs of being open. Rubina understands the assignment. She knows that she knows she's a trio, but she knows she's not the duo of T-Core.
Oh, for sure. She does know that. And she needs a person.
So I would not really be, I'd be thinking I can keep Rubina in my pocket, because she knows that she's not one of those 2. And T-Core, right now, it's like, if the jury would all just give it to T-Core. And I do really think, someday we got a comment, Leah's focused on Chelsea and T-Core. I think that's the other move, because I secretly think that Chelsea and T-Core either have spoken or have just given eyes to each other. The way I did with somebody on my show, we never spoke and we were never on the same team. And we gave each other eyes, and we were like, we had each other's back. It was one look. And we played that.
I don't know if you're looking into that. No, I was just going to say, I don't know if you're really looking into this really deeply, Jen. I don't know if they had conversations before the live feeds, before the show even, like, before, like, we saw, like, the live feeds are, like, delayed for a week.
They cut them sometimes, and
Yeah. So I don't know if we just haven't seen that actual conversation, but just the look in Big Brother, I know what you're saying, because I've had the look on other shows, but in Big Brother, it just doesn't, work out as much as you would think a look would on another show. Like, I've had that look. I've looked at people and just said, like, that's my person, you're good. But like on Big Brother, because it's so long, you're living with these people 24/7, no breaks. The look just isn't looking, Yeah.
And as far, I think that, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think Chelsea ruined her game last week. I think Chelsea quite possibly made the worst move she could have made for her game. And I think this is going to backfire, and we're now going to see the downfall of Chelsea. I think she was one of the front runners to win, but getting rid of Quinn, letting the Angela paranoia take over. Not that she wasn't completely wrong, but I still think Quinn was on side, and I think she put her stake in the ground and said, "This is where I'm going," and I think it's gonna into her doom.
Yeah, I think possibly, unless she's falling backwards into my T-Core Chelsea theory, because I'm still standing that theory, that they want to really be the final 2 sitting next to each other, which is tough because everybody loves T-Core. So if I'm Chelsea, I don't know if I want to be sitting next to her. But then again, what has T-Core really done? Because Chelsea would have done a lot of the dirty work. So I don't know if she fell into that. Like, that's a very interesting.
T-Core needs to sit next to Chemo in the final 2, because otherwise they're the only 2 right now that have a similar story, even though they're best friends. Chelsea legit has a better resume, won more, done more, been in more alliances. T-Core has everyone's best friendships, but if you're best friends with both of them, who are you going to vote for? The one that has a better resume, right? So I do think that that's going to make a difference. Now, Hannah said, are they doing an all-girls game and getting the boys out to jury first? I think Leah would be up for that, which is why I think she might go after Cam this week, because plus Cam has been like flirting with her, flirting with Chelsea, flirting with Mackenzie. He's not really doing much. And like, is Cam a floater? I don't know at this point. Like, floaters got a life vest. Everyone loves when I say it, so I have to. But like, it's true. Is Cam a floater? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, coaster, floater. He seems like more like kind of a coaster than a floater to me, but you have very strong opinions about floaters and definitions of them, but it feels more to me like he's kind of furniture who occasionally makes a move. So
but does he make moves is why I'm saying he might be more of a floater. He hasn't had power. He will go on an alliance on one side and he'll go to the alliance on the other side, which is a floater, and he coasts through the game. Ultimate floater. Ugh. But not
he's a floater.
People might want to sit next to him. Like, look, if you think I'm sitting next to Cam, I'm sitting on furniture next to a piece of furniture who apparently I went to his TikToks. I'm like, he's so exciting and alive on there.
He's
on
fun.
Big Brother, either he's just nervous or playing it quiet, and hopefully he's gonna come out with some crazy guns blazing, but I don't think so. Like, I don't know. But sitting next to Cam will be a good look for you, because what has he really done?
Yeah. So Elizabeth
next to Chemo would be amazing, because Chemo's really done nothing besides like just not get voted out.
Yes, well, 100%. And that's what everyone in the chat is saying. Cam is a floater, and that Chemo is probably a floater coaster too.
100%,
and Flag Tour Mama said, get that life vest. Yes, get that life vest.
And I will say too.
Oh, go ahead, Bobby.
I was just going to say, like, both of them are very much so floaters, and obviously it's kind of paid off for them, because they're the last two guys remaining who have gotten this far, and no one's really taking them seriously as a threat. Like Chemo to a small extent, because he's been on the block more, but who's really, really, really thinking about getting Cam out of this house right now? And at the end of the day, he's going to be one of the more physical threats if he actually puts his mind to it and can do it. Can we see him go on a run towards the end of the game and really pull something out? I mean, I think it's getting to too little, too late territory, but he is a big physical dude with Chemo and women in the house. And can he make a run?
He doesn't win. Like, Angela wins a lot, and Mackenzie's a beast. I feel like Mackenzie could totally kick his ass.
Of course, yeah.
Being stronger than we think, and also very agile, and like everyone's like, Cam is such a threat. I'm like, to whom and how?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Brendan said, because Brendan, my husband, Brendan from Big Brother 12 and 13, for anyone new watching. So he basically said that Cam is a big guy. We do think he can play. We do think he can run. We do think he's strong. He hasn't showed us any of that. So we actually don't know. Like, Mackenzie might be able to beat him, because these competitions are never just brute strength. We never have a brute strength, especially on season 26. We don't have brute strength competitions. So it's not like he's going to be lifting 100 pounds that nobody else can lift. And who knows, Mackenzie might be able to do it. Who knows?
It's true. I feel like Mackenzie could bench Cam. I feel like they'd be a cute couple, because they would just like work out all day and wear like the same and matching sweat kind of outfits. And like, so I kind of do like them and their little pseudo flirting or whatever's going on. I do enjoy them as a pseudo showmance. So somebody in the comments said, Mimi said, I don't want to put a spoiler in the chat if people don't want to know. Mimi, let us know. Is that the H of who's
talking about
the H of H? Is that the
H of H? We've already spoiled the H of H. Don't worry, Mimi.
Is that it? Was it the head of household or no? Is there another spoiler? Don't say
it.
It was the head of household spoiler.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I feel like we have covered this whole week. And does anyone else have thoughts? Leave comments in the chat. Leave it on the TikTok chat or the YouTube or Facebook chat. Let us know what you think. And remember, you can leave comments every week we're here, we're live, we're excited to talk to you. That's part of the fun of a live show, right? You get to come in and talk with us.
Final question. I have a final question for us and everybody in the chat, and there's 2 answers to it. Who do you most want to go home, and who do you want to win? Yeah. Just into your head, just no strategy, just what popped into your head?
Bob, you go.
Okay. Well, first off, my head is telling me I want T-Core gone, but my heart is saying the reason I don't is I have money on her in my draft. So I kind of don't. But my head's like, I'm just so ready to see a change in this game. Freaking worshipping of T-Core is too much. So I would love to see T-Core go. And then you said, who do I think will win?
Yeah, or want to.
Oh, man, this is tough. Honestly, I think the game kind of opened up once Quinn left and Tucker left. I still think there's a very good chance for T-Core to win. Outside that, it's going to be her or Chelsea. I think Chelsea ruined her game last week by the move she made. So I'm going to still go T-Core, even though I kind of want her gone. And kind of don't.
But that makes sense because you're thinking like who's going to be exciting and who's going to be like, you know, who's going to be the best to win. I kind of want, so this is silly, but unpopular opinion of my own unpopular opinion, because I'm a flip-flopper. I want Angela to win. I don't know. I think it would be a fun cherry on the top of the show to have Angela win. It would be a random AF. And I would be like, how did this lady who's calling people crazy eyes, losing her mind week 1, just win the show? But I kind of love it. I think Chelsea's playing the best game. I think Chelsea should win. I think T-Core is playing a great game, but I don't think she's playing a winning game yet because I just feel like she's playing the best friend game, which works if you're Jordan and if you go up against someone that nobody else likes. So this is the problem in this house. It feels like everyone likes everyone. So I don't think they're going to go up against someone that there's no person that anyone's like, oh, I don't even like that person, because they all like each other.
I think they don't like Leah a little, but not like that hatred that you see in It's very different than other seasons. People clearly hate each other. That ended basically with Angela hating Crazy Eye Matt, and then there was not, and then Tucker had his, and then after that, it's been a big love fest. So this is like, it feels like I'm doing F, Marry, Kill. But it's just 2 options.
So, and Brother House guests did that this week too.
Oh yes, that's right. They did that. I think that it is essential that T-Core goes home next. So that's the person who I want to leave next, because I think that she could either run the game or go all the way if you don't send her home. Or, you know, you have Chemo and Rubina there. And I think she's the strong head. She's like, you know, she's the head of this, like, it's like a 3-headed snake, although they're nice people, not really snakes, but she's the head of it. So she's the one who I want to go home purely based on that. And I think Mackenzie kind of deserves to win, but I want Angela to win.
Okay. Wow. I think you're the only person that thinks Mackenzie deserves to win.
I mean, I was thinking Chelsea deserves to win most of this time. And then I started thinking yesterday, like, Mackenzie wins a lot of stuff. She's been on the block so many times and saved herself. She has saved other people and it's worked out in her favor. She somehow, and you know, I think it's because you don't really like floaters and she kind of might be like super floater. So that's probably why you're like, no, Mackenzie.
Well, no, it's like, I don't think Mackenzie's as much of a floater as like Cam or Chemo, who is just Chemo's not a floater. He's a coaster. He's like, you're right. Like, if you want to go that definition, he's not, he has his one alliance. He is always going to work with them, vote with them, do whatever they say. He's the ultimate fall guy or the ultimate, like, you know, wingman, right? Like, he's always going to hype you up and he'll take the fall for you.
You know what? I think if I wasn't getting bored with this midseason slump, I've 100% said I want Chelsea to win because I like her. I like the game she's playing. I love the way she talks to the cameras and interacts with us. But she does it very well. Her little, like, Chelsea talks to us. She explains things. Her logic is good. I like Chelsea a lot. So she's who I've kind of wanted to win. But I feel like things went into such a slump that now I just want, like, agents of chaos to reign. And now I'm just like, give it to Angela.
Yeah.
For the entertainment. I want to give her the Emmy.
I want the mid-season momentum to come back. I want for us to be able to get a season where we don't lose interest right now at jury. Because like, it does happen every year.
You know what's funny?
Yeah. Go ahead, yeah.
I was like, Leah was like depressed all last week and then like lying in bed saying like, nobody likes me and nobody's thinking of me and I have no friend, which is funny because the three of us discussed everybody, potential of them going, being a threat, not being a threat, whatever. And we never brought up Leah. So like, it's like, can Leah not only feel the vibes in the house, but from outside of the house, that even though I'm super excited that she won because that'll shake things up a little bit, like we're not considering her as somebody who needs to go or to win.
She can feel the vibes because you know why? One thing about Big Brother that they cannot control is that you can predict the amount of time you spend in the diary room with the amount of time you are shown on an episode, which means you're not a main character. So she knows, she must know subconsciously that she is not a main character because she's not getting called to the diary room as much as these other people. So she has to feel some sort of way about the house guests, but always being on the wrong side of the vote. The house guests don't really talk to her that much, and she's not getting called to the diary room because she hasn't been a main character. That could all change this week.
And that
she has the chance.
Go ahead.
She has the chance right now, this week, being HOH, to change her game dramatically. If she takes out one of T-Core or Chelsea, her game opens up completely and actually gives her the chance to win this game. No other week matters. She can be as boring as she wants. She could get 0 screen time. You get to jury, you get to this phase of the game and make the moves that set you up to win at the end. That's how you win Big Brother. Like we always say, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Who cares if you're getting screen time at the beginning? Who cares if you're a character at the beginning? No one gives a shit. That's just for Instagram later on so you have a following. If you want to actually win the game and the $750,000 prize, you turn it on now, right here at this point of the game, and make your moves to solidify your game at the end and why you should win it.
100%, Bobby. I love that. And with that, we want to thank everyone for joining. Make sure that you subscribe to the Reality After Show because we will be screening your audition tapes, whatever you want to call them, interviews next week. So make sure that you send those to us. We will be doing those live at the end of the show. We typically talk about casting. This episode did go a little long, so we're going to end it here, but we typically do talk about casting, other reality shows. We are your go-tos for all things of the gossip over the other reality shows. But don't worry, Jenn has promised me, and she can't go no backsies on this, Jenn, that we will record another episode to share and post for you about the other reality shows that we didn't get to talk about yet. But they're all on the Reality After Show channel as well, from Survivor to The Anonymous to The GOAT to The Circle, all the things you can watch full hour-long episodes. And the Reality Queens, we typically, I would say that we talk about all the different things, right? We're going to cover Golden Bachelorette. What do you think, Jenn? Everything, right?
Well, we've been focusing on Big Brother because you literally won Big Brother. Like, you were on it twice. You got married to someone on Big Brother. You have Big Brother babies. So obviously you've been leading very heavily into Big Brother. Bobby knows so much and is such a fan of Big Brother. So obviously I lived with crazy now Kristen, QAnon Kristen. Sorry, Kristen. I love you. I'm so sorry. I do love Kristen dearly, but people ask me all the time, like, what's up with her? And I'm like, QAnon Kristen, she's fine. She actually is living her best life though right now. She's very happy. But like, you know, some of my greatest friends have been on Big Brother, and then some people actually have not really liked to have been on Big Brother. So like I have my own weird investment. So that's why we have the queen of Big Brother on the After Show Network. So obviously that's what we're talking about right now, but there are a lot of other things to talk about.
Yeah, so we will be doing that. So make sure you subscribe to the After Show. Make sure that you watch Reality Queens every Friday at 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, and 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. And like I said, next week, send us your tapes. We will be viewing those live at the end of the show so that we can give you advice on how to make your elevator pitch, how to have a stronger tape to submit when you are doing these auditions and sending in these tapes for the reality shows that you want to be on. We're doing it free. So there's like no strings attached. Just send it to us. Let us help you.
One threat though. Here's my threat.
Uh-oh.
if people do not follow our directions of saying in the beginning what their goal is, it could be a specific show or a type of show or what you want to do, and then give us information and then keep it 2 minutes or under, then if we can't achieve that goal, we'll get like, 50 people sending us like stuff that doesn't do any of those things. Then we will have to wait until the next week to do it. So that's my threat.
We can't.
And as a producer, you got to like and subscribe too. Please like and subscribe. It helps us out.
Bobby is a good producer here. Yes, you have to like and subscribe and comment. Leave comments for us. And we will watch your tapes live. We will help you to get cast. There are some shows casting right now that are really exciting. Survivor, Big Brother will start casting again soon. The Circle, all the shows that you have come to love that we love to talk about with you.
Yep. And do you think you need your own show? Tell us why. But I am saying, if you don't see us talking about it at the end of the next week, it's because people didn't follow directions. So I just don't want to promise a tape critique if we're gonna have to be like, now friends. What do we put on our little elevator pitch tape? So
yeah, listen, 60 to 90 seconds. Let us know what you want to be on, why you think you're a good candidate for that, and an elevator pitch. You can you can email those to me at rachelsreality.com, or you can send them to my Instagram, Bobby's Instagram, or Jenn's Instagram. And with that being said,
I think we might have an email button on the after show channel. Not sure if it works.
I don't think we have an email yet. So, but you can follow me at Rachel E. Reilly Villegas on Instagram, Rachel Reilly Villegas on TikTok. So you can send it to me. You can follow these two lovelies. Where can we follow you?
Follow me at Goodsby Bobby on Twitter. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. And other than that, definitely check us out on YouTube. You can always reach out through YouTube as well if you have any questions or concerns.
Are you checking the YouTube channel, Bobby?
I wanted to check it because I'm like, if it goes straight to Fairplay's email address, then I want you to spam him all with
it will. Videos. Like, it will 100%. 100%.
He's gonna kill me. Spam Fairplay with who be like, why the hell are all these people sending me these videos telling me that they want to be on, the Circle because they can catfish like the best of them. He's gonna be like, why is this happening to me? And I'm here for it.
If we spam him enough, he'll be like, oh, everyone loves that show, so I will keep it on air.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see your guys' coverage on all the other shows for reality TV, like the Mormon Moms one. My wife and I have been watching that one. I can't wait to hear what you guys say about that.
So good.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I know we don't want to get too much into it, but we'll save our thoughts. But
yes. Okay, we won't get too much into it. We'll save that for another podcast. All right. Well, we love you all, and thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.